right? It takes years to build a manufacturing base, and these are a lot of the things they buy every single day. And when they start hearing the Fed chairman, someone pointed out to me this afternoon, they said, well, the Fed chairman saying interest rates are going to go up and there's not going to be, right, or there's not going to be cuts and the economy is going to slow down and there's going to be more inflation. And places like Moody's, you're going to hear from, and Goldman Sachs and others said we could be looking at a recession. I think you're going to see a lot of people panic and start to say, this is not what we signed up for. And that I did hear from a Trump voter today who said, I did not sign up for higher costs, higher taxes. What's going on here with all this chaos? And I think that's what you're going to see more of. And clearly the president just doubled down today on it.
You remember the Bipartisan Problem Solvers Caucus. I don't know how much people speak to people across the aisle anymore these days in Congress, but do your Republican colleagues talk about these tariffs behind closed doors?
We still talk plenty, and what I heard a lot from those I work with today are this is not a good direction, right? If you represent farmers, you're right, the number one right export is soybeans to a lot of countries. That's going to get crushed. You know, and I think they understand that if people's 401ks keep dropping and costs keep going up, this is not a good recipe for their success. And that's the bottom line. This chaos instead of common sense, the way the president's been running everything every day, is now you see catching up in their pocketbooks and their wallets. And I think when they look at the prices of everything they're buying, and they're going to, whether it's the car prices and job losses, you're going to see people panic and start to question finally what this administration is doing. That obviously many of us have been saying now for weeks, this chaos is a disaster for our country.
Republican Congressman Don Bacon from Nebraska told CNN he plans to introduce a bill in the House Monday that would aim to reassert Congress's power over tariffs. Do you think there's a level of economic damage, some sort of red line past which this Republican-controlled Congress would actually take tariff power back from the president?
Well, I spoke to Don today. We talked about this because the president using and claiming everything is a national emergency, and that's why he's levied these tariffs everywhere from Canada, Mexico to 60 countries. I think you have a lot of people saying, wait, this is not the power we gave away and what the purpose was. And you saw senators, Republican senators, act the same way in their vote to take away, to revoke the 25% tariff in Canada. So I think you're going to start to see, and we just heard some of the people that you played, start to finally say, this does not work. This doesn't make any sense. This is hurting the families that I represent directly. And so we need a different direction here. The president may try to double down, but chaos over common sense is not the recipe for success for them. And by the way, I just think as people face higher and higher costs and their 401ks and their retirement savings go down, you're going to see more panic from more Republicans in the coming days.
Congressman Josh Gottheimer, thanks for your time.